Morning, folks. Brian here. It's Sunday, July 20, 2025. Time for the weekend vegetable garden tour, and we'll talk about growing food. You see, the front of my property used to look like that. So if I can turn that into this, imagine what you can do. So anyway, growing food is all about succession planting. It's more than just 3 months of the year. So I can do 2 or 3 succession plantings. Always new people here, so what I have here behind my siding is 3 inches of foam board insulation, which prevents the soil from freezing. It doesn't even get cold most winter months. So I can start very, very early and extend very, very late. For example, last February 5, I planted my potatoes in here. So it was warm enough for the potatoes to germinate, and by March, there's enough sun out for the potato plants. And so now I've switched to long English cucumbers. So I'm hoping I'm going to have enough heat for these to mature and produce. Peas in the background. And then at the end of the summer, when I finish harvesting or eating all my cucumbers, I'll be planting a cold hardy vegetable like bok choy, spinach, Swiss chard, whatever. Perry the pear tree, taking his time. My chili pepper bed. Sweet bell pepper. And some hot chili peppers for my wife. More hot ones in the back. Get some carrots going in this one. And of course more peas. I freeze as much as I can for the winter for just cooking. Pauline the pear tree. Pauline's a lot sexier than Perry. She has a lot more. So I used to have steps in between each planter, but then I got to close them off at night to keep the marmots out and any other animals. So I closed all but one off and planted some fruit trees. Opened up the sides of my planters so the roots will grow to the bottom of my blue boxes. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to plant in here. I had kale in here, so I'm going to plant some potatoes in here after I amend the soil. This is an extra starter plant I had of zucchini. It's doing all right. Harvested potatoes out of here, so I'll figure out what I'm going to put here next. Harvested potatoes out of here, and now I got carrots going, and oh, and I got beans in the back. These are long Asian string beans. They're 3 feet long string bean. And then some carrots going. I planted these about 4 days ago. Pole beans. These are about 8 feet tall already. And I gotta get in here, get these strawberries picked. So with my milk and yeast fertilizer, keeps my strawberries growing. They don't stop. I stopped fertilizing in October because you got to winterize them. So these are everberry. They'll grow back in the next year. This is the part I like. Somebody in my household doesn't like it, but I love it. I love this overgrowth. Provides a lot of cover for my strawberries so the water doesn't evaporate. Nasturtiums. First time I've grown borage by seed. I didn't realize it was going to be this big. This is like 3.5 feet in diameter already. But the bees like it. So we're only allowed to use our tap water hose bib twice a week. So I keep up these garbage cans full of water. So just for the front, it takes up 40 of these 1.5 gallon buckets. So 60 gallons of water just for the front every day. Something you need to think about if you're in a water restricted area. A few potatoes left. Now, I want to see something cool. See this? I threw that in the compost because it broke off from this one. That is the top of this one. So I threw it away. But the roots are establishing in my compost pile. And now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 heads. Oh. And then some potatoes planted in here, and they're already coming out. So I can harvest these before winter. Red Pontiac potato is also one that you can grow, that it'll continue to grow into the early winter. I love these towers. So I got this one at Walmart at the end of winter last year, or end of the summer, at a reduced price, like $14. So Walmart, they do not want to have to spend a labor cost, the trouble of packaging items that are no longer in season, transport costs, storage in their distribution centers. So they'll reduce them to a ridiculously low price just to get rid of them. Same thing with all their bag compost and manure. I don't have enough compost ready yet, so at the end of the year, they'll reduce their price to, like, $2 a bag. So that's when I stock up, put them in storage, because I have to amend my soil 3 times of the year. Excuse me, thank you. Thank you. Hey, they appreciate it if you talk to them, okay? Ongoing work every single day. My little finger carrots I eat out of every day for supper. Potatoes repotted. Oh. Bush cucumber. I'm training them to crawl up this knee brace. These are my UV tarps. I have not had to use them yet. I know when the UV gets out strong, and when it does, I just unroll them onto my frame, cleat it onto the bottom. One example how I believe we're developing a multi-polar field. One year you'll have excessive UV in one area of the planet, and the next year it'll be somewhere else. Like 2021 here, it burned the crap out of everything. I think we're safe this year. Yeah, absolutely love these ideas. Hang them from a tree or balcony, wherever. So I just put a piece of irrigation pipe in the center. Rope. Make sure a strong rope, because when you water these, they get quite heavy. Run it through. And then just put a bolt in the bottom. It works great. In fact, I'm more than surprised, because these are only like 5 or 6 inch pockets. Grow vertical as much as you can. This is a bush type cucumber, and I'm just training it to climb up. And then next to it, my English cucumber. Can't let these get too fat because they'll go bitter on you. And once one cucumber plant starts turning yellow, gets too big, it'll trick the plant itself, saying, okay, it's time to shut down. Yeah, $14. They only had one, so I grabbed it. So when I start up my homestead or my bug out location, I'm going to have a whole bunch of these. This is like 5 square feet for a 1 square foot hanging. 6 square feet. Years ago, I used to grow nasturtiums. This is a single plant. Cuts off my walkway, but I still love it. Let's carry on. So if you're thinking about container gardenings, for example, on your balcony, grow what's going to be most proficient. Like a cucumber plant. These are 2 cucumber plants in a simple square tub. Salad bush variety. I got some bush beans planted in here, and they're coming out. Let's check this one out. Yeah. Okay, let's check out the rest and talk. My ultimate goal is to have a quite literal food forest. It's a lot better than last year, but I want to do a heck of a lot more. Even for things like strawberry production. Okay, let's move along. Well, that's what I mean by just the cheapest foam board insulation you can get. So I just strapped it out with 2x3s. Actually 2x4s, because I use 2 layers of 1.5 inch foam board, along with the 2 layers of polycarbonate panel. I'm in zone 7A or 7B, southern British Columbia, and I can grow about 10 months of the year in these boxes. I'm not going to do anything with this greenhouse until the winter time. So that's my main power. Solar. It's one of a couple of units I made myself. Two 12.8 volt 100 amps. So that's 2500 watt storage. With all the isolation switches for safety, my solar panel isolation switch, my battery power isolation switch, proper fusing, etc. We'll talk more about that later. Potato plants. There's some Swiss chard in the back where it's cooler. Some tomato plants, a whole bunch of potted chili peppers. I've grown in here before, and this one tomato plant will completely take up the entire square footage on the inside of this greenhouse when she's finished. So I'm going to open up these more and just bring these out, let them dangle over the top. You got 4 cucumber plants in here, straight 8 and English. A little bit too many flowers, but it's working. Oh shoot, it's working. I didn't see this one. Can't let them get too big. Got to come back and pick that one. That's it's a straight 8. Okay, leave that there so I can see it. You can see I eat a lot of cucumber sandwiches every day for lunch and supper. So the main reason, not just to extend my growing season, polycarbonate panel, part of the carbonate panel, the plastic-based material has been proven to reflect the ultraviolet radiation. I'll show you an example. So my plants these were here against my sunroom, full sun exposure, but they were getting a lot of UV burn. So a lot of UV damage. But as you can see, all healthy, no burns, nice and green. Nice and green, no UV damage. Twin wall polycarbonate panel. Pickling cucumber. These are for pickling, but they're just good for having as snacks. Roma. I got a few beets planted. So beets I like to have in my smoothies. It's an anti-cancer property, so I have smoothies every single day. 1 liter. I like to have 1 beet in each one, so that's 365 beets I gotta grow. Yes. I'm gonna be canning a lot of peaches. I'll do some videos on canning as well. However, no leather jackets. Two years ago, they destroyed, completely decimated my peach tree. And I mean, when they were this big, they destroyed every single peach, hundreds of them. Wasps. It's my 4 or 5-in-1 apple tree. Coming along nice so far. I don't can apples, we just eat them. Some potatoes planted. Eggplant. Yes. I invested in more blueberry plants last fall. So I'd like to have enough berries in the freezer for all year. I only got about 23 plants, so I still need, I would say I need another 40 plants just to give me enough berries to put in the freezer for all year. It's a 4-in-1 pear tree, 4 different types of pears on one tree. It's English cucumber. I gotta pick you too. So I got a saying, depending on your grow zone, grow what will grow, not what you want to grow. And know how to grow them. And protect them from the ultraviolet radiation.
Oh, another one in the back. A whole bunch.
Okay, folks. I'm doing some serious prepping thought. I do mean serious. About finding a safer location. And being completely off-grid. I'm going to probably do some more videos. Take you along my thought process. Everything from... so in order of priority, you need water, food, heat, electricity, communications. You don't have to have communications, but it's nice to have the internet to know what's coming. And as you can see, I'm really into my solar. I bought some units, EcoFlow, and I make my own as well. Yeah, safe locations, you know. I've been saying for years, it's our volcanoes, but even though I say we got 200 volcanoes here in British Columbia, and some are heating up, you know what though? You got to be worried about things, areas like the Aegean Sea, southern Italy, Alaska, southern Japan. Remember the last time those 4 areas all at the same time went off. And that only accounted for 42% of the sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere. So there's going to be some devastating effects in other parts of the world before it gets even anywhere near bad here. And for if anybody says the east side of the Canadian Rockies is a good safe bet, he has not done his homework. Let me give you some hints. Wasp, get out of here. Banff, known throughout the world, the Rocky Mountains. Let me give you some hint. Sulphur Mountain, another tourist attraction. Sulphur Caves, sulphur people. Here's another one, Jasper, further up the line. Remember the fires in 2023 in Jasper? Pyramid Mountain, Jasper. I showed you the video on the very top of that mountain. There were no fires, but on the very top, I showed you the half a dozen heat detection points. Pyramid Mountain. Did you know that the hottest hot springs in the entire Rocky Mountain range is the Jasper region, just east of Jasper? Did you know that, folks? The hottest hot springs. How do you heat hot springs? Magma. Jasper. Hint, hint. So by the time British Columbia starts going off, and it will go off, you need to think about the global implications of major volcanic eruptions in those aforementioned areas. Holy cow. 34 minutes. Okay. I got to get back to my work. I'm going to be having my cucumber sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and supper. That is all, as you were.